Now, we are lucky to have the people behind many of the technologies and apps that you are using. What we have now are apps that are so easy to use. They're do-it-yourselves that we are able to figure out for ourselves how to use them. But today, we are very lucky that GoNegosyo gathered the people behind these apps so that our viewers, our GoNegosyantes, will be able to use them with more optimization, with more efficiency, para yung kita na sinasabi nina nina Adrian at ng ilan pa nating mga negosyante, kunyari kumikita tayo ng piso dahil yun ang alam nating paraan para gamitin tong mga apps na to. Because of the people who will be next in our panel, yung piso ninyo 100 pesos, 1,000, 1,000,000 na ang inyong kikitain. Let's do what the other entrepreneurs have been doing. Why not earn 1.6 million in one day as well? Di ho ba? Okay, so about 30 million smartphone users are gaining access to such a huge potential market that can truly push your business to new levels of growth. That's what we will find out today, because digital age is all about what the next big thing is and how to put this next big thing in front of your audience. So, without talking too much about it, because I want our speakers to tell you about it, I would like to start the program. Before that, though, please allow me to acknowledge our sponsors who are powering this segment. First, of course, a very good friend of GoNegosyo is LT Group Inc. We also have Wilcon Depot, NGCP para sa bayan, Yazaki Torres Manufacturing Corporation, First Philippine Holdings, and GT Capital Holdings Incorporated. So now, please join me in welcoming our distinguished guests. Ang una po nating panauhin ngayong sa panel na to, let me invite Ms. Cams Santa Ana, Client Partner of Facebook Philippines. Cams, are you there? Okay, hi. Hello. So our next speaker is Ms. Carmina Loyola, Manager and Seller Engagement from Lazada Philippines. All right. Our next speaker is Ms. Lorenzo Taniedo, SMB Customer Program Manager of Microsoft Philippines. Our next speaker is John Tong Tien, Account Manager of Google Philippines.
Hi, everyone.
Hi there. So, is that all? I thought we had another speaker. Wala na ba yung speaker natin na isa pa? Okay, I just want to make sure that all are here already. Okay, so all right. So I know that we have another important speaker. Let's welcome Carlo Ople from PLDT Enterprise. So let's make sure that everybody's videos are on. Magandang hapon, good afternoon, friends. Hi, now I see everybody. Sorry, there's a little bit of a technical difficulty. So there you see Ms. Cam Santa Ana of Facebook, Carmina Loyola of Lazada Philippines, John Tong Tien of Google Philippines, Enzo Taniedo of Microsoft Philippines, and Carlo Ople of PLDT Enterprise. Please say hello to our friends watching you today. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Okay, very good. Enzo, fake yung photo na nilagay mo sa billboard natin, ha?
Nagpa-makeup ako, madam.
Ano yun? Grade 6 ka?
Guilty.
Alright. we have a very rich, a powerhouse panel here, and we have expecting a very rich discussion. In fact, you know what? For the five of you, they gave me a total of 40 questions, and I don't think I'll be able to ask all those questions. And as far as I see now, we have more than 70 questions already waiting in our chat box. So, sa atin po mga panauhin, kung hindi po namin matatanong yung inyong mga tanong, don't worry. We'll share what we can with the speakers so that in their own time and in their own space, they will be able to answer your questions. Okay? So let's get on with it. Our topic for today is digital marketing. So for the whole week, what we have been reiterating to our Go Negociantes is that digitalization will transform their lives. Digitalization is pro-poor, and they all believe that, which is why on a daily basis, we have thousands of people listening in on these daily conferences that we have. Now, for your segments, we're happy to have you because whereas your apps or where your technologies are mostly intuitive and do it yourself, now that you're here, we are going to take advantage of your expertise and your knowledge about what you have to tell our viewers how to maximize the use of your different technologies. Okay? So first I'll ask everybody to give a little bit of an introduction about yourself, what you do in the space that you are. Can I ask you first, please, Cams from Facebook Philippines?
Yes, hi everyone. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. No? And again, thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I'm very excited to share how our solutions can help the small medium businesses of the Philippines bounce back from the pandemic. And kudos again to the Go Negosyo team for bringing in all of the digital giants in this panel. No? Yeah, I completely agree. There's no better time than today to really come together and help our country. So I'm Cams. I'm a client partner. I essentially work closely with businesses, with agencies and brands, no, to help them better maximize the solutions and tools of our platform to amplify the growth of their businesses. So essentially, I'm a consultant to businesses. So excited to be here today to share a little bit more how you could take advantage of our tools.
Wow, Cams, we didn't know that you could actually consult with people at Facebook. Kala namin we can just do, just go through the page and then figure it out for ourselves. So good to hear. Of course, I know that your interaction with people will probably all contactless, correct?
Yes, but and just to add to what you said, no, Miss Josephine, you're right. We do have a lot of self-service resources, so we invested a lot also to ensure that it's easy for anyone to learn how to take advantage of our advertising solutions, our organic tools as well. So it's both, yeah.
Great. All right. So now let's invite Carmina from Lazada Philippines to also share, introduce herself and share what she's doing. Carmina?
Hello, hi, good afternoon to all. Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin today. I'm Mina Loyola from Lazada. I've been with Lazada for 5 years now. And most of my work in Lazada involved sellers. So I was part of our seller operations team where we help sellers improve their operations, fulfill orders faster. Now I'm part of our seller engagement team where we connect Lazada to sellers and where we empower sellers through communication, education, and community building. So all of us gathered here today are firm believers that digitalization will help empower businesses, and we are very happy to be part of this conference, to be part of this activity so that we can spread the word, we can involve more sellers, more prospective businessmen, businesswomen to join our platforms, and then so that we can so that they can pay it forward and then spread the progress and positivity to our countrymen. So maraming salamat po for having us.
Wow, Carmina, that's a solid background that you have there. I think with what you just said, our viewers are now listening more intently because you just told them that you're a very reliable person to ask on these matters. Thank you. So we'll get to that later. Tien from Google Philippines, would you like to tell us more about yourself and what you're doing there at Google?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm JT from Google Philippines. So I manage the mid-market segment for both Philippines and Malaysia. So it ranges from the conglomerates to the fastest growing startups to the SMEs. SMEs and startups is an area that I'm super passionate about. So thank you again for having me, and I look forward to spending the rest of the afternoon talking about how we can all grow together with Google's suite of solutions.
Great.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much. Now, let's suki natin to. Enzo Tañero from Microsoft Philippines. I know you, but the people here may not know you too well. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do.
Madam Jupin, mayong hapon sa tanan. My name is Enzo. I work for Microsoft Philippines. I'm in sales, pero hindi ako magbebenta ngayon. Good afternoon also to everyone on the panel. When I was an entrepreneur, I used every single one of your services. So nice to meet you. And I'm happy to be part of the conversation.
All right, great. So our next speaker actually has an excellent reputation in marketing and vlogging even before he joined PLDT Home. He's currently Vice President and Head of Marketing Communications, Carlo Ople. Hi, Carlo. Good to see you here.
Hi.
Good that you can join us.
Happy to be with you guys today. So hopefully I get to share some tips na everybody can apply to their businesses and to their careers, or mostly businesses for today. No? So just like Enzo, on Lazada, I do a lot of Facebook ads, I do a lot of Google ads, and I use Microsoft as well, and PLDT syempre. So everybody in here, I use their services.
Right. Great, great. Okay, so this is going to be a very collegial conversation among these 5 panelists that you have in front of you. Sige. But we'll start with Cams. Everybody, it's no exception, everybody we talk to lately will say, oh, I have a page. I have a page. I have a page. Can I ask for your number? No, check my page. Okay. You don't know what page they're talking about, but actually you do know what they're talking about. They're talking about Facebook page, right? So, Cams, it's common, obviously. People like using Facebook page for selling. Anything else you can share as to how they can maximize online digital marketing using Facebook?
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. No, that's right. We have about 100 million monthly active users now just in the Philippines for Facebook. So definitely the reach is there. But I guess I wanted to share a little bit more on how Facebook even started about. And when Mark first created Facebook, it really was just a social media tool. It is a tool just for community engagement. And that's definitely true today. But what we've seen also is mga businesses natin today, the way they use our platform has evolved. They now use our platform talaga as a one-stop shop, full funnel business growth driver, right? So from increasing the awareness of their brands, to using it to drive consideration, to influencing the people that show intent for their products to make that final purchase. So talagang our solutions have become a full funnel business growth driver. And we've seen this used especially, significantly in the last few months with the pandemic. Di ba nga, I heard the last panel kanina, they talked about how the pandemic definitely accelerated the need for digitization. And we've seen a lot of usage as well of our platform specifically for that. So a couple of examples lang, no? In driving reach, in awareness, we've seen businesses talagang use some of our targeting capabilities para they're able to talk to the right people at a minimum cost and quickly, where they get feedback on how their campaigns are doing, how their posts are doing really quickly. Tapos a couple of businesses naman, they've been using Messenger, right? Messenger to be able to create a personalized experience yet pa rin. So similar that they would have in their own offline retail store, but at the convenience of doing this digital. Another tool that we've been seeing used a lot by our MSMEs is actually Facebook Live. Yung mga live selling, yung mga HM po, right? So if you haven't taken advantage of live just yet, we highly suggest that you start doing it. A lot of MSMEs are seeing great success with these live solutions. And then, of course, when you're driving conversions or purchases nga for your products, wherever your store may be. So if you have your own e-commerce store, if may store kayo sa Lazada or Shopee, right? We have a lot of tools to be able to drive quality traffic to these different stores. Or if you don't even have a digital store, you could actually create one already on Facebook. So just a couple of months ago, we introduced Facebook Shops. Essentially, this is a mobile-first shopping experience across Facebook and Instagram, and it's for free, no? With Facebook Shops, you could create the look and feel, para it really reflects who your brand is. You could also, start picking the right products for your catalog, and soon you'll be able to ask your sellers to check out from your Facebook shops directly in Facebook, so without having to leave Facebook anymore. So a lot of solutions coming up, and a lot of existing ones already today. So highly suggest that our MSMEs take advantage of these to really drive growth and to help us bounce back from this pandemic.
All right. Wow, that's very comprehensive. Mga viewers, ang dami pong sinabi na doon ni Kamsa. I know that you also have ways by which the users of Facebook can drill down on what you just said. Do you have training programs or online resources that they can go to?
Yes, definitely. So siguro one website that I would suggest that you already take note of is www.facebook.com/business. So you'll find here all of the free resources, anything and everything about Facebook advertising or creating an online presence on Facebook. And these are all for free, no? So if one thing to remember from our session today is siguro that link, save it na, and check it out immediately after our panel discussion.
Okay, so that's /COMMS. Is that comms? Did you say comms? Facebook.com/comms.
No, so www.facebook.com/business.
Okay, all right, great. If you could please type that also in the chat box. There you go. I think somebody wrote it down. Great, thank you. Let's go to Carmina of Lazada. Basically, I'm asking everybody the same question for the first round because we'd like the viewers and listeners to get to know what you have and how to use them. But particularly for Lazada, because you're in seller engagement, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, pwede akong gumawa ng account sa Lazada at dahil minimum lang ang alam ko sa Lazada, makakabenta ako ng 100 pesos a day. But I think you have programs, tools, and what have you that can help me increase that 100 peso a day to 1.6 billion a day like our seller before this panel. Go ahead, Carmina. Please share with us your tricks and tips.
That's true, no? So it's not just hindi end game that you're already on Lazada. It's not enough that you're just there, but what is important is that you maximize the tools, the opportunities, the learning materials that we provide our sellers. So for example, in Lazada, I'm sure you've heard of our big campaigns. So 99, 11, 11, Lazada pioneered all these in the Philippines. And also you've heard Mayet from the previous panel, no? Ang laki nung gains niya when she joined 11-11. Just last 11-11, 70,000 sellers in the Philippines actually participated. So this is a very good boost for small businesses. So to be able to participate in that big event and then to be able to cater to the needs of buyers during that big event is very important. But more importantly, we are seeing that buyers are not just buying on Lazada during big days. They're also on Lazada during Monday to Friday, weekends. They don't have to be in Lazada for something special. So they're just shopping. So that's what I'm saying when I say that it's not enough that you're just online. You have to also capture your audience during these business as usual days. So by doing this, you can make sure that you're always on top of their add to carts, add to basket insight, no? And by using tools, like for example, we have promotional tools, we have vouchers, free shipping, bundles. You can also use these tools to connect with your customer. You can also chat with them. You can connect with them. You can build your customer base online on Lazada. So Lazada is not just a buy and sell platform. It has fully transformed into an online entertainment destination, online lifestyle destination. And so you have to maximize all these tools that are being offered to you so that you can capture your customer wherever they are in the app, in the desktop, watching live streams, surfing, playing games on the app. All of these tools are available to sellers online. And then you also mentioned training programs. So we in Lazada believe that education is how we build this industry. And so Lazada University is one of the cornerstones of Lazada. Um, Lazada University is not just offered for big sellers or old sellers. Hindi kailangan na matagal ka nang bumebenta or experience ka na to get into Lazada University. It is offered to all sellers. Most of our materials are available anytime, anywhere, on demand. So sellers can learn at their own pace, at their own time. We also have partnerships with platforms in this panel, no? So we partner with Facebook, with Google. We once invited Sir Carlo to speak in one of our conferences. We want sellers to take advantage of these free learning opportunities so that you can also invest in your growth, invest in yourself, and through this, you can invest in your business and grow it.
That's great. I mean, you not only do you present or make available the tools, but you also coach them and train them how to do it, and encourage them to use it. Medyo mahirap kasi sometimes it's intimidating to move from a storefront, a brick and mortar storefront to an online storefront. Like what you're saying, if they use the chat, the videos, and things like that, does that mean the seller has to stay online 24/7 or spend so much time in front of a computer engaging their customers?
It depends on the seller's strategy, no? Because the difference of offline versus online is that in offline, you have store hours. So from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. But in online, customers are always online. Customers are shopping online anytime. Our biggest hours during 11/11 are the first 2 hours because we offer a lot of deals during those hours. And so it depends on the strategy of the brand or of the business. If they're big enough to cater to buyers anytime they want, then they can have an always on strategy. But if they're only starting, and buyers understand, if you have specific operation hours, just let them know the expectations so that you can set that properly. But at the end of the day, it all depends on how big you are right now and how big do you want to grow in the next few months, few weeks, few years.
Got it. Goal setting and expectation setting. Great.
Yes.
Noted that. Let's turn now to the technologies. I'd like to ask Carlo. Carlo is not, he's with PLDT Home now, but like I said, Carlo, you have a reputation for helping a lot of entrepreneurs and people figure out what digital marketing is all about. But please feel free to talk about your enterprise, PLDT Enterprise. What are the MSME programs that you have at PLDT? And don't forget to add your own tips, please.
Sige, sige. So before the actual tips that I want to share, so siguro just a few things that I want people to know about PLDT and PLDT Enterprise. Going digital obviously has different facets. You need an online shop. You need, of course, online payments. But one of the most critical things of running an online business is the operational part of it. It's really making sure that you're consistently fulfilling orders, you're consistently collaborating with the different teams that you have, and being able to work across, especially this situation, no, na medyo lockdown pa rin tayo, or not as free to move as we would want to because of the pandemic. By the way, reminder po, may pandemic pa rin na, so yun lang. But yeah, so yun yung current situation natin now, and that where I think is where we come in the most. And of course, I'm talking about PLDT. We have business-grade fiber solutions. We have a suite of digital apps. And if there's one app I want to highlight for today, it's really the cybersecurity offers that we have with ePLDT. Ang daming mga negosyo, nagugulat na lang o nasa-shock sila pag na-hack sila. Kunyari, either na-hack yung social accounts nila, wala na silang way to be able to promote and push, or sabihin natin na customer data that they have is compromised, or their website is suddenly brought down. So there are a lot of solutions that I think PLDT can bring to the table, not just connectivity, but obviously it starts with that. So if anybody wants to know more, all you have to do is to Google PLDT Beyond Fiber, and you should be able to find those solutions. Now, when it comes to the tips that I wanted to share with everybody, siguro I'll start with a bit of encouragement lang. Ako, buhay ko talaga nagbago dahil sa digital. And I say that with talagang all humility. Nanggaling po ako, medyo okay yung pamilya namin, pero nawala din po lahat ng pera namin. Para kaming riches to rags. So, nung nawala lahat ng pera namin, ang bumuhay po sa akin at naglagay ng pagkain sa lamesa namin at nagbuhay ng career ko at nagbuhay ng negosyo ko has been digital. And I've been doing digital since 2005. So 2005 pa lang, nung hindi pa sikat, nung magpe-place pa lang ng ads, ano ba yung mga website na sikat nun? Parang wala na dito. Wala na sa panel. Yung mga website na sikat nun, Friendster, ano ba yung mga sikat nun? LiveJournal, MySpace, di ba? Multiply. Yun yung mga sinaunang generation eh. So as early as those days, I was doing business on those sites. I was putting up albums on Multiply, trying to sell products. I was on blogging, on Blogspot. And now it's amazing, the people that I'm in this panel with, they're all different platforms. It goes to show how fast digital changes. If there's one thing like I want to stress with it to everybody listening today, is that if there's one thing you need to know about digital, is that it can really sell. And that it can really drive revenue. And that can really help you make a business, expand your business, or start a business. All you need to do is to collaborate and learn all the different tools that are currently in this call right now. Lazada is one of the best platforms I've personally worked on. So I'm one of their sellers. I'm also an affiliate marketer on Lazada. During 11/11, we sold over, I think it was over 20 million worth of products in just a day across the affiliate network that we have. And that wouldn't be possible if we didn't do Facebook ads and if we didn't do Google ads. And it wouldn't have all been possible if I weren't able to collaborate in my team using Microsoft Teams. So lahat talaga na nakikita nyo sa call na to, if you use all of them properly, if you use all of them correctly, you can really make a change. And I'm not even talking about PLDT. Yung example na kwento ko sa inyo ngayon, yun yung negosyo ko. So anybody can do it as long as you learn the tools, you learn the platforms, you learn how to use Facebook, you learn how to use Google, you learn how to maximize the promos of Lazada, you use all the different tools of Microsoft. And believe me when I say that it can really change your life. Ultimately, ang mangyayari pag napalaki ninyo yung negosyo ninyo, alam nyo na yan eh, gaganda buhay, o okay ang buhay, okay yung buhay ng pamilya ninyo, and sana pag wala ng pandemic, may pera na tayo para mag-travel ulit. Nakakamiss bumahay, no? So someday that will happen again. But yeah, yun lang yung point ko. Digital can really change your life for the better. And I just hope that everybody listens to all of the speakers today, takes all the tips, and learns to maximize. Kasi at the end of the day, it's using everything that everybody in this call has to offer you eh. Hindi pwedeng isa lang. Hindi pwedeng PLDT lang gagamitin ninyo. Hindi pwedeng Lazada lang. Hindi pwedeng Facebook lang kayo. Hindi pwedeng Google lang kayo. Hindi pwedeng Microsoft lang. If you learn and you use, gaganda talaga buhay ninyo with digital. So yun.
Great. Carlo, you mentioned something that you're right. People overlook the cybersecurity. Right?
Oh, yes.
Oo. People overlook that. And in digital, kasi akala nila, o sige, basta PLDT gamit ko, secure ako. O kaya basta Lazada gamit ko, secure ako. But there are different ways that the hackers penetrate, right? So, and we mentioned the customer service anyway with Lazada. If people want to know more about what PLDT offers, and kunyari, kailangan nila ng advice sa cybersecurity and other services that you have, I know now that PLDT is not only, you don't only get PLDT service when you go to the office. There are other ways of contacting PLDT, right? How do we get that, how do our viewers contact you and say, we need your help or we need options? How do they do that?
Well, siguro the first website that they should visit is yung PLDT Enterprise website. All the solutions are there. I would recommend that instead of saying a URL, guys, i-Google nyo na lang, PLDT Enterprise Beyond Fiber. So yung lalabas doon, click nyo, most of the information of all the different offerings of PLDT are there. We have a Beyond Fiber solution na if you add like a little amount lang monthly, you get access to our cybersecurity offer from ePLDT. So that includes real-time monitoring, that includes alerts, and making sure that you have the proper safeguards for your accounts and for your website and for all the different digital assets that you have. So ako, I would like to stress that a lot kasi ang hirap pag nahack ka na eh. Imagine nyo, mag-invest kayo ng sobrang daming oras at effort, palaking kunyari. Kahit wag natin sabihin website. Sabihin natin pinalaki nyo Instagram account ninyo or Facebook ninyo. Tapos sabihin natin may nagkamali, may naklik kang hindi ka nais-nais or yung isang empleyado ninyo binigay yung password. Nangyayari yun, by the way. Diba? So ang hirap i-recover. So you need to be able to not just apply all the cybersecurity measures, but also learn about cybersecurity. And I think those are the things that the solutions that we have to offer can help a lot of entrepreneurs and startups today. And again, it's not just your website. It's not, ang dami kasi the more you go online, the more you have to be conscious about your cybersecurity. Kasi the moment one or two of your accounts or your main selling asset gets compromised, ang laking tama nun sa negosyo natin. So yun, I just want to emphasize and stress that a lot.
Right, good. And these people will not be able to sell the 20,000 or 20 million that you mentioned unless they're secure. Diba?
Oo, tama yan. Totoo.
Great. Thanks, Carlo. I know, Carlo, you have to go. But still, please feel free to stay. But before I ask the next question, ayaw kong ma-miss yung group photo natin eh. Can I ask, midway through this session, can we have a group photo so that if Carlo has to leave, it's okay. We already captured his beautiful face. Sige, big smile, everybody. Okay, and then 2 thumbs up. All right, thank you. Okay, Carlo, but please still stay as much as you can, all right?
Yes, salamat.
Sige. Let me ask JT then. JT, how long have you been in the Philippines?
Hi everyone. I've been in the Philippines I just moved to the Philippines actually. So I used to cover the Singapore small medium business segment right before this. So I just moved to the Philippines team in September of this year.
Oh, okay. So you moved during the lockdown, but it's all right because you've been doing small business even where you came from. So can you share with us
Exactly, yeah.
what the micro, small business programs you have at Google Philippines, particularly those that affect our digital marketing?
Right. So Google has a lot of programs, targeting small medium businesses as well as startups. So the one program that I would say we have is the Grow with Philippines, which is indigenous to the Philippines, where I strongly urge all of you to put it into the Google search tab. Go with Philippines. You'll see a whole lot of resources, of programs. How do we bring businesses online? How do we target effectively your customer segment? How do we use Google organically? With the SEOs and SEM programs that we run as well. That's for the SME segment. Then on the startup segment, so we have our accelerator program, so Google for Startups. I'm sure all of you know Google started as a startup by Larry and Sergey in their backyard. So startup is a segment that we are super passionate about. So Google for Startup is a accelerator program, where we try to teach startups, how to go online. And it encompasses the full suite of Google services. For example, Google Cloud is becoming very big. So we do offer some cloud credits over there as well as ad credits. And how do we use Google Workspace, where we encompass, our Google Meet solution, our chat function, in order to make the transition online effectively.
Great. Yeah, I think many people are introduced to Google as an email and as a search engine. And then many of the things that you're mentioning now are starting to penetrate the consciousness of the Filipinos. So,
Exactly.
what do you do to get them to know more about these things?
Right. So you very rightly pointed out, people first exposure to Google is with the search bar. So that's usually how people know about Google. And a lot of people still associate Google as a search company. I think what a lot of people don't know is Google have 9 properties with more than 1 billion users globally. And this encompasses our latest one is Google Photos, which is a storage system for all your photos. And we just hit 1 billion users for that a couple of months ago. So in terms of how we are, promoting a lot of all this newer services, we tend to try to do things organically. Like a lot of the stuff that we have hit 1 billion users, we do it, by people exposing to us through thought leadership articles on the Go with Google website. And also, I think we have a free, thought leadership website called Think with Google, where a lot of, our leadership, we share some of the opportunities and some of the problems that we want to solve, where we put on our Google Lens, how we go about doing it, and we make it free and we publish it with everyone, just so that they can learn from, how we here at Google think about things and how we go about approaching opportunities that we see that is to be solved in this digital economy.
Yeah, that's great because your short articles like that might jug something in them and then give them the ideas to use this for their online marketing. Like I know some entrepreneurs now using Google Docs to do surveys of their enterprises, right? I mean, that's probably not how you intended that to be used, but some people are using it to find out what their customers are looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So you rightly pointed out, right? Google Survey is one of the unique tools that we have just for people to, you just put a link, people click on it, they fill up the form, and, right after that, we have it in like a collated form for you. And we do see a lot of this shift happen, during the COVID pandemic. I think a lot of the panelists have already very rightly pointed out the shift to digital is happening already, but the COVID pandemic kind of really accelerated this shift to online increasingly at a much faster pace.
Right. Okay. Well, you have captured a large, what you call this, a big part of the attention of the people anyway because of the search and the email function. So as they navigate your very pristine site and find out more about Google, I think they'll be using more of that, more of your functions. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. Let's ask now Microsoft. Enzo, in our last interaction where we were together in a webinar, you actually mentioned some freebies, and incentives and programs that you initiated during the pandemic to help our MSMEs. I'm sure you have a lot more updates. Can you share with us what you have now?
Yes, thanks, Madam Jupin. So like my colleagues here, when COVID started, all of the digital platforms tried to help out the community. So may mga libreng trial, mga palibreng email, putting out services para makabenta, masustento natin isa't isa, right? So that happened. I'm gonna put some links on, but I probably want, in terms of programs, to talk about yung nabanggit ni Carmina about the learning. So we try to put as much learning out, especially to piggyback off what JT said. Ang bilis ng transformation nitong COVID, right? And a lot of people are trying to figure out what's worth studying, how do I use it, ano yung balik sa negosyo. So maybe in terms of the programs, yes, my freebies, ma'am. But one of the things I want to talk about are programs like Discovery Days. In fact, we have one tomorrow. So para hindi ko maubos yung airtime ng lahat, I'm gonna put a bunch of things in a chat. The first is a website to all our programs, like what Cams just did. And I'll probably put also a registration form if there are people interested in our Discovery Days, just so they can learn more and get more involved.
Okay, good. Ayan ha, mga viewers. Talagang, like I told you, this expert panel we have is very generous with their ideas and their resources. Hindi mo pa man hinihingi, binibigay na sa inyo. Okay, so let's go back to Facebook. What do you call this? Cams, you know what? Every time we talk about digitalization and digital transformation, the questions for Facebook are tremendous. They keep asking how else to market their products through Facebook. Facebook, what you call this? You mentioned the shopping earlier, and then another popular segment of Facebook that we're seeing lately is the marketplace. Is that the same one, or is that different? So I guess my question is this, and it's a popular question that has been cropping up in many of our webinars. How sustainable is Facebook to be the centerpiece of digital marketing for any enterprise?
Yeah, thanks for that. No, great question. And you're right. Every time digitization comes in, usually there's a couple of questions about Facebook and particularly on commerce. So I guess quick answer to that is yes, very sustainable. In fact, it is a global priority already for Facebook that we continue building solutions to help businesses today uh, easily transact on their platform. So sabi ko nga po kanina, right, that when Facebook first started, it was really just a social media platform. It was a community engagement platform. But because the way businesses are using Facebook today, that they're really using it as a way to drive growth for their businesses, even us at Facebook, we started also rehashing our products to be able to help and support businesses that way. Right. So earlier you mentioned Facebook Shops, Marketplace. So those are actually two different solutions. Marketplace is more of a community-based marketplace, right? So where you could do buy and sell. In fact, Marketplace came about because we saw that people were doing buy and sell in Facebook groups, which wasn't actually the intention for Facebook groups, no? So from Facebook groups, we developed Marketplace, and then now we're seeing that a lot more businesses, small and big businesses, are looking for ways to create digital storefronts in Facebook mismo. Kasi nga, there are people who are immediately seeing things that they like and they want to be able to complete the transaction in Facebook directly. And because of that, we launched Facebook Shops. So very, very new. This is just a few months in the market. Highly suggest nga after the session to just go to the link I mentioned earlier to learn a little bit more about Facebook Shops and how you could maximize it. But I think overall, no, another way to think about how you could maximize Facebook and digital across all of the different platforms here is to really harness the fact that digital can help you really understand who your audience is, right? That's the power of digital. We're able to collect signals so that we can help you really create well-targeted campaigns for your brands. And then my suggestion is that you start implementing a test and learn culture within your teams, right? So you launch campaigns, you experiment, see what works, anong klaseng audience ba dapat yung tina-target ko, anong klaseng formats, video ba, static ba, anong klaseng formats dapat yung nilalaunch ko, and then learn from it, right? So constantly evaluate how your campaigns are doing, and then you iterate your business model based on the results that you're seeing. And this is not just for Facebook. I'm sure for the rest of the platforms as well, that kind of test and learn mentality really, really helps. So just one tip siguro for our entrepreneurs in the call, experiment, harness the power of data-backed marketing, care of digital, and then implement this test and learn culture in your teams.
Great. That's a wonderful advice. Well, we know that entrepreneurs are usually risk takers, and with digital, this experimentation that you're talking about can be done quickly because they are able to get feedback quickly from the customers. So if it doesn't sell in 3 days, or in 9/9 or 10/10, chances are you're not going to use it again for 11/11 and 12/12, right, Carmina? I think you're on
Hello?
mute. Yeah, hi, Carmina.
Hello,
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So, I mean, what has been your experience anyway with your customers or with the merchants that are on Lazada when it comes to experimentation?
So same with CAMS, we provide our merchants, our sellers with the data that they need because we believe that when people know more, when people learn more about their businesses, they become empowered. And when they are empowered, they can make better decisions for their businesses. So when you're a seller on Lazada na, you have access to this tool called Business Advisor. In Business Advisor, you'll see all the data related to sales, traffic, what products need to be boosted, what products have high traffic but low sales. You'll see all of these data so that you can make informed decisions on how to improve your business, what products have to be sold more, or what platforms do you need to engage with to drive more traffic to your products. So all of these data is also available for our sellers. On top of that, we also provide data for improvement of processes, in this tool called Growth Center. So if you're a seller in Lazada, you can just log into your account and you'll see all of these tools and you'll see what needs to be improved on your store. We find that data is very important because this industry is fast growing, and not a lot of things can be done manually anymore. So we want sellers to have the same mindset that they should look at data, they should look at quick insights on how they can improve their business, how they can take it to the next level. And when we have that mindset of, sabi nga ni Cams, test and learn, we are able to improve our businesses, not only for ourselves, but also for other people.
Great. Thank you, Carmina. All right. For Microsoft and Google, I have a similar question. And this is about brand building. Your companies are very big brands. They're giant brands in the world. And our entrepreneurs think that just because they're small, they cannot do brand building because brand building is expensive. But I think you're able to do that using your platforms, right? Can you share with our viewers and listeners how that can be done? Maybe JT first?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest misconception that I have heard myself as well multiple times, that brand building is only something that can be done by the Unilevers, the P&Gs of the world. And I would say that's absolutely not true. Like from the smallest brands or onwards, you can and you should be actively doing brand building. And let me just give you an example of a tool that we can use for brand building, right? Google My Business, which is a free tool that we've created. It's simply a page where, once people search for your company, it shows up on the Google search bar. And, it has your opening hours, people's reviews of you, pages, location, everything, right? And that is one of the first steps I highly encourage all entrepreneurs on this call, right after this, go do a quick search, Google My Business, and just create the page. And that is really taking baby steps towards brand building for SMEs, and it's free, completely free. So please go ahead and do that. And it's very important to really just take the first baby step towards brand building before we talk about the big branding campaigns and everything.
Great. And actually using the platform of a big brand like Google or Microsoft or Facebook and even Lazada actually lends a lot of credibility to the activities of the enterprise, correct? So yan, meron pong libreng resource ang Google My Business. All right, great. Thank you, JT. Enzo, what about you with Microsoft?
To piggyback, madam, I think the conventional idea of branding is dapat naka-billboard ka or dapat may mahal kang TVC, especially for those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s, right? But the reality of brand building today is yung mga customers natin, they prefer mas personal mong kinakausap sila. And this is where obviously Facebook and Google come in. I think I really like what Cam said. You can target, diba, and test A/B. Now, what I'm really seeing across the small businesses is something as simple as being able to create timely messages, being able to put important customer checkpoints, whether kung bibili sila or kailangan na ng service or gusto na ng palitan yung binili nila. That's really how I see it happening. So the one part is very clearly the advertising, diba? Palakasan, paingayan, palakihan ng brand. But the other part really is your ability to connect to your customers and be contactable to your customers and respond in time. Maybe the third layer of that is dapat tinatali mo. And I think Carms had a really cool point about data, diba? You have to be able to understand what happens, when it happens, what are the trends you see. Now, as you can plainly see, I'm not talking brands, diba? Because the platform, Microsoft being the last and least of it, is probably the less important one. But maybe just to add, when I was an entrepreneur, I put some money, 8,000 pesos, 9,000 pesos a month, and I was putting that toward Facebook ads, right? And I was trying to integrate all of that with just my simple emailers and marketing collaterals, and watching that, binabangga ko siya sa parang POS ko, sa benta ko. And I think that's the third layer. You're going to have to understand, may say-say ba yung mga sinasabi mo? Kung nagpaparamdam ka sa customer, are they responding? And for me, that's the brand, how they interact, what they feel about you, and how they talk to you. So yes, TVC, if we all had 5 billion pesos, sure, pagawa tayo ng commercial. But for small brands, I think that's the shift. You don't have to be a San Miguel, or you don't have to be a Unilever and spend millions of pesos just to get your brand out there. Kung totoo kang brand, the customers will feel you.
There you go. Well said and spoken sincerely and as passionately from by an entrepreneur. Yan po, that's a great lesson. Okay, we only have 2 minutes left. This is what I'm gonna ask all of you. One takeaway that you want the viewers and listeners to remember from each of your organizations and what you're saying today. Okay, let's start with Cams. One takeaway for our viewers.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I just want to repeat the whole principle on experimentation. It doesn't take a lot to experiment across all of the digital platforms, really. And then ensure that you learn from your experiments, and then you iterate, you adjust your business models based on what you learned, right? So the beauty about digital is that you could easily experiment, cheap, you get feedback really quickly, and then adjust your business strategies based on what you learn from that.
Great, wonderful. JT?
So 3 key things. I want you to really leverage all the free resources we have on our Go with Google website. Set up the GMB profile and really just start, experimenting with Google's full suite of solutions across search, display, and video.
Great, and it's easy to do that. It's very intuitive. Thank you. Carmina?
Hello. So if there's one thing that I want our audience to remember from this session, 3 words lang po. Go, grow, and glow. Go online. Go where the market is. Go where your customers are. It's online. So sign up now on Lazada. It only takes a few steps with the least risk involved. All you need to have is one valid ID, your stocks, and photos of those stocks. You can already start selling in 15 minutes. The second one is grow. Do not forget about all the learning opportunities that we are offering you. Not only Lazada, but also the partners in this panel. All of us offer free tools, free opportunities that you can join. On top of that, invest in your growth. Listen to mentors, attend conferences like this. Make sure that you grow your business by growing yourself. And finally, glow. So when you light up a candle, hindi lang yung kandila yung nagkakaroon ng ilaw, but also the entire room. It illuminates the entire room. So therefore, when you have reached a certain level of growth that you're already comfortable with, please do not forget to pay it forward, to create opportunities, create jobs for other people, to be mentors to your friends, to other sellers who are also starting online, so that you can share your blessings with others and you can help in nation building and in delivering progress to our country. So again, go, grow, glow. Thank you everyone.
Ang galing mo naman, Carmina. Ang galing, galing, galing. We will remember that. Okay. Now, Enzo, last word?
Gagayahin ko po, copyin ko yung homework ni JT. So yes, please use free. To any entrepreneur here, there's no better price than free. So there's so much free stuff, use it, use it, use it. But the second one maybe I want to add is, there's so many learning resources. So I'm going to put a bunch of links, but the one thing, if anyone can jump into, type in any browser, Google, MS Learn, that's Microsoft Learn, where all the tools, not just do you get access to where you get it for free, but how to use it. So at your own time, at your own pace, you and your team, you and your partners can actually start to make the most use of this technology kasi ginagamit nila. Thank you again
Wonderful. Great. Thank you. We will do another last Zoom photo, please. Big smile, everybody. All right. And double thumbs up again. We're missing Carlo, but at least we have him in the last photo. Yan po mga kaibigan, ang Google, ang Microsoft, ang Lazada at ang Facebook at kanina po ang PLDT. Maraming salamat. Thank you, dear friends. We hope to see you again sometime soon. Bye-bye.